Hello, am I audible? All good? Okay, so let's get started. First of all, good morning everyone. My name is Rima Sidique and I work as a DevOps engineer cum DevRel advocate at Stackgenie. I'm basically from Kerala, and today I'm here to speak about a topic which is very close to my heart, not exactly technically into OpenSearch, but very important for technology. Let it be OpenSearch, let it be any other projects out there, which is women in cloud native, right? And as every talk demands, let's go with the agenda. I'll first put it out how I came into cloud native, and then I don't like it calling challenges. I'll call them as hard nuts to crack. And then we'll also see how the path forward is, which is diversity, equity, and inclusion. And later on, I'll also handpick some opportunities from Linux Foundation. There are a lot of opportunities out there, but I have to limit it, otherwise I wouldn't be able to end this talk today. Right. So with that, let's start. Exactly 10 months ago, I was just another engineering graduate out of college. I was at home waiting with a delayed job offer in hand. Like some of my friends, I had things to do. Either I could get married, I could pursue higher studies, or start looking for a job elsewhere. But deep down, I wasn't satisfied. Like, I was like, I didn't know what I wanted to do really, and I wanted to explore more. I wanted to know what was happening like in current trends of technology around the globe. So then came one opportunity, one message, one connection that changed my career. There was two people I texted in LinkedIn, namely Fasila and Ebin. Fasila being one of the core member of Istio. She's a maintainer and contributor. She is a cloud native developer at Ericsson. And she is also a member of CNCF Technical Oversight Committee, which was a big deal because I didn't know any of these fancy terms back then. And I texted her, I said, I love what you're doing out there. I am so happy that you are so good at what you're doing. Get started. Like, how do I start exploring this? Right. And then she said she was coming on to Kerala to give a session exclusively on this topic regarding how to contribute for open source and all those. And it was in July. And I checked upon it was called DMCon 2024, conducted by DevOps Malayalam, which is a community exclusively in Kerala. I checked upon the event, it was paid. But that time, I couldn't afford the ticket. So what did I do? I checked up the co-founder and head organizer of DevOps Malayalam. I texted him. I said I was trying to explore into DevOps and all those. Can I get a chance to be the part of the organizing team so that I can attend it for free? But I didn't mention that. Anyways, I got in and I hosted the main track for DevOps Malayalam, which was a very big thing. Because let me put this out straight. I was feeling a bit hesitant, feeling a bit anxious, thinking that would I fit in a place where there were people with 10 years of experience, 5 years of experience or plus. They were playing with cloud native tools day in and out. And back then, I didn't know what that orange octopus or a butler leg guy in a logo or a steering wheel of ship did, which is now Abu Siri, Jenkins, and Michael Dye because I use those. Right. And that is how I got in. And once I got in, I was like, okay, this is where I have to be in because I felt a sense of welcoming. My values, my opinions, my suggestions were all welcome without even, fathoming my experience or like trying to judge me. I was feeling belonged again. And yes, I'm here today. Well, talking about the hard nuts to crack, the first thing I found was we lack a sense of courage to ask for opportunities or help. But there was a recent study which said women were 2.5 less likely to ask help from strangers. I mean, if we know you guys, we're gonna question and I know you guys like anything, but in case of opportunities and help, it differs. And the next thing came out, family and friends support. I don't know how many of you guys really shared about this event to your very close, let's say, female friends or wives or sisters, or because this event was free for academic people, right? And they also provided travel funding for other people to attend to. So, how many of you did sincerely share about this event to your colleagues, or can I see a couple of raised hands? Okay, 1, 2, 3. All right, it's okay. Because after this, you're gonna do it right, hopefully. Let's see. Now, after family and friends, because I told it, it is always advised to give a hand, lend a hand, and just try to explore them. Maybe for some good swags, maybe for some good food, or to explore what they didn't know. Because now I know, yeah, after attending a lot of wonderful sessions from yesterday, I know I don't know a lot of things. I don't know a lot of things. Third one is taking that risk, putting your outself in the sun and getting tanned. Not literally, but anyways, taking that risk to understand and identify your potential, which again come into the next point is breaking your comfort zone. Well, it's all lovely to be in that very beautiful bubble of comfort zone, and once you break it, you start falling down. That is called the fear zone. And after fear zone comes learning zone. And after learning zone comes growth zone. So eventually you're going to grow if you're trying to put yourself out there. With that, let's move on to the very core principle of today's talk, I should say, like the cream of the talk, which is diversity, equity, and inclusion. Before going into diversity, equity, and inclusion, let me put out some facts which I found in from McKinsey and Harvard Business Review. They said 21% of diverse teams produced more, companies produce more profit, and 25% of companies of women on board were excelling. And I guess this is right. 30% of diverse teams produce more patents. Well, with all that said, it all comes to diversity. So what is diversity? Diversity is, despite of all the differences and identities you have out there, let it be age, gender, experience, expression, religion, socioeconomic background, your disability status, education, experience, whatever it is, you get a chance to be present. Because only once if you get a chance to be present, we get diversity of thoughts, diversity of experience, diversity of expression, which brings out ideas onto the table and eventually innovation, right? Now, talking about innovation, there was a recent, not so recent, maybe like 15 years back, in 2010, MIT, there was a study conducted. They tried to, come out with parameters that depend on a group's collective intelligence. So they thought, okay, fine, members with groups with high IQ would be coming out with more collective intelligent team. But turned out otherwise. There was a very beautiful graph. I'm so sorry I couldn't show it. Well, the graph went like this. And the parameters were number of women. As the number of women increased in the team, the collective intelligence of the team increased. Well, why is that? As I said before, diversity of thought, diversity of expression, diversity of experience, which brings in a team's out collective intelligence. And studies have shown business, companies also get into profit. This was the data I was talking about. Thank you. Next thing is about equity. So what is equity? Equity is giving everyone a fair chance, a fair treatment, opportunity to succeed? Well, it is often confused with equality, which sounds very familiar, but those are very different. Well, as you can see from this picture, equality means giving out same resources, same support to everyone and treating everyone as equal so that there would be a fair outcome. Well, equity is providing tailored support, resources and opportunities according to individual circumstances so that they can succeed. Right. This is another interesting stat that I found in. Well, before talking into this stat, let me bring out another one. 56% of women in tech tend to leave mid-career. Maybe because of some personal reasons, of course, but there has been cited workplace culture issues as well as lack of opportunities for them to grow, being stated as the key reasons. Well, if we have some inclusive cultures at our companies, it's at 30% retention rates are found. Now there comes the next, inclusion. So what is inclusion? Inclusion is a sense of bringing in diverse teams with a collaborative and including mindset so that they can feel belonged here. Right. Moving on. This is another stat I found in from CNCF page. It was a micro survey conducted in 2021 where they asked this statement to people: I feel a strong sense of community in my open source software community, and 75% of the respondents said, yes, I feel a strong sense. But how each individual felt that inclusive sense differed. And that is what the stat says. 71% of female, 64% of non-binary, comparing to 77% of male. Well, this was back in 2021. I am so damn sure it would have definitely changed. Right. Because day before yesterday, I got to talk with Andrea, which is one of our event organizer. And she said she was so happy to find 30% of the CFP papers that they gotten for OpenSearchCon India this year was of women, which is a great deal, right? So this is what diversity, equity, and inclusion is. Let me bring in another example. Imagine there is a party happening. All right, you get an invitation besides all your differences and varieties of whoever you are, diversity is ensured. Equity, you get the shoes, you get the dress, you get your ride here to the event, and equity is ensured. And you're given a chance to dance, or you're asked your choice of music, and there ensures inclusion, right? So, talking all about those core principles, let us see how Linux Foundation has been trying to, include these essential core principles into our events. We don't even see those because those are very small steps, but those are making a big deal of shifts. For example, let me start from this board right here, which says captioning, translations, and reserved seating. Right. Starting from this to the stickers that you find at the registration desks, as you can see here, some green pronunciation stickers. They are trying to give some, sense of belonging for every person out there. And there was this DEI community hub, which was at KubeCon plus CloudNativeCon North America 2024, where they had a physical space for people to come, learn, collaborate. There were workshops, there were live community gatherings, everyone to connect, and despite of all the differences out there. And about CNCF DHHWG group, which was Deaf and Hard of Hearing working group, they had initiatives to put out American Sign Language interpreters at the events, as well as sign language learning workshops, crash courses. And they also did provide a platform for them so that they can share their experience and insights. Embarrass Breakfast was a breakfast program that that was organized for women and other underrepresented individuals, and allies, so that they can come together and share their workplace culture, anything, without even having a double mind of thought. Right. So with all those said, moving on to the last, inclusive event features, as I said about these stickers and the board right here, there are other inclusive event features that are also there. Maybe you won't have found it, but they have this rules, like there is no all male panels, or there's no all male keynote sessions, right? There's all gender washrooms, there's free childcare, nursing care. Everything is trying to bring in this diversity, equity, and inclusion. Well, this is a page that blew my mind because I didn't know unless and until I started preparing for this talk. This is a page that I found in Linux Foundation Diversity and Inclusion tab. They have a special section for that. And it said they started implementing inclusive language efforts, even for the projects, technically. Next is Open Hardware Diversity Alliance. Let it be software, hardware. So this principle is coming out there. And Software Developer Diversity and Inclusion, it is an exclusive team which does science and research to bring out the three core principles into software engineering. Well, all that said, let us jump to the opportunities that I found along from Linux Foundation. As I told, I'm trying to limit it from Linux Foundation, otherwise I wouldn't end this talk today. Tech certifications increase women's career prospects by 50%. Well, we have a training and certification page where there are a lot of courses provided at zero cost. And it said it has benefited over 100,000 women out there, right? And interesting factors, you can find this course not only in English, but the language you want to be in. Apart from the courses, you can find some certification programs that is also up there. You must have heard a lot of certification programs about CKA and all those, I'm so sure. Just citing it again. Now the next thing is, after you find this interest or motivation, you come to an event because of the Saxon food and you get into sessions and you want to explore more because you started getting about the very big terms that you didn't know. So what do you do? What do you do? Let me give you some stats. Female STEM graduates have 25% of higher retention rate with mentorship. Mentorship programs improve leadership representation by 30%. 37% of women in startups cite mentorship as top success factor. All coming down into mentorship. So where do we find mentors? Well, Linux Foundation has mentorship initiatives. There is LFX mentorship series that happens every year. It happens term-wise. I guess the second term is open right now where you guys can apply. And once you get selected, you are an official mentee of Linux Foundation. You get stipend and you get to learn about the projects that are out there, and you get to work with people who has really contributed and maintained the projects. And if you're an official mentee, you get an opportunity at LFX Mentorship Showcase, and you get to share your experience with other people out there. And those are some of the Linux Foundation mentorship programs that I found in the page. And there are mentorship programs annually happening as well as monthly happening, and all the past sessions are also available. So please do check it out. And these are the mentors that I found myself. As I said, Fasila and Ibn are the two people I texted in LinkedIn and that changed my entire life and career. Divya, I found her back in December at Delhi. I went there to attend an event. I'll come to that. But finding your mentors and trying to, grab that opportunity or trying to ask them and trying to get them is very important. And not only you should learn from your mentor, but start also helping out others. That is also there, okay? Another fact time, scholarship programs increase STEM enrollment by 40%, which comes to the scholarship programs that are out there. There is Schuberger Linux Foundation training lifts scholarship programs exclusively for individuals who can't afford scholarship for training and courses, certification programs at zero cost. And since 2010, they have helped over 3,000 people, giving out over millions of dollars. Thank you. And there's Dan Kohn Scholarship, which is a scholarship exclusively for attending events like KubeCon plus CloudNativeCon. And you can apply in diversity, need-based, and maintainer quota. I was a scholarship recipient myself last year in December, and I applied in the diversity. My whole expense, my airfare, my accommodation for 3 nights, the ticket, and even my travel from the airport to the event was covered. Just imagine traveling from a remote village to the capital city of Delhi to attend the biggest community event. This is a couple of pictures. That is Divya out there. This is the group of Dan Kohn Scholarship recipients, and this is the group of DevOps Malayalam. And as you can see, I was the only woman in the group. It was hell out of adventure to make my mother convince, but she supported me in the end. These are some of the communities that I found from the Linux Foundation page. Personally, adding Women in Cloud Native, which is in India, DevOps Malayalam from Kerala, and Cloud Native Trivandrum, which is also Kerala, which I am a part of, and rest other communities I found it in Linux Foundation page. They do support those financially and non-financially. Well, coming on to the end of the session, despite all the differences, let it be woman, female, or any individual you are all humans of Cloud Native, right? As you can see in this page, as we scroll down, you get all the people just brimming with love of technology and trying to contribute, trying to find a place here. And I know the leaders and change makers in tech might be out there wondering if they ask an opportunity, if they try to text, wondering if the answer would be yes. Let them know the answer would be always yes. Thank you. With all that said, please connect and we'll talk it.
Thank you, Rima. I think everyone learned something new. We are running out of time, so we'll not be able to take questions. And we can discuss, take it offline.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.